Alright, boys and girls, today we are going to work on dividing decimals by whole numbers. So this is your Virginia SOL 5.5. We are going to talk about how we divide our divide using decimals when we are dividing by a whole number. Okay, so we are going to be doing some long division. So you know, if you're in my class, we always talk about long division and how those dirty monkeys smell bad. So that is divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. We are no longer using remainders, okay? So no more remainder. We are working with decimals. So we're going to set up our decimal problem exactly like we would if we were dealing with all whole numbers. So we have 32 and 12 hundredths divided by 2. And now we're going to go ahead and divide. But wait, first, before I forget, because I don't want to forget about my decimal, I'm going to find my decimal in my problem, and I'm going to take it straight up and put it in my answer. That's the very first thing I'm going to do. 2 reasons why I want to do it at the very beginning. 1, so I don't forget at the end. 2, this is going to help me keep my columns lined up, okay? Because we need to keep that decimal lined up. When I divide, first, I'm going to think about those dirty monkeys. Dirty monkeys smell bad. I need to divide first. Can 2 go into 3? Yes, it can. It can go in 1 time. 1 times 2 is 2. I'm going to subtract and get 1 and then bring down my next digit, which is 2. Now I go all the way back to the top, so I'm going to divide. 2 divided into 12 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Now I subtract, which is 0. I'm going to bring down my 1. Can 2 divide into 1? No, it cannot. So I say it goes in 0 times. 0 times 2 is 0. I need to subtract, which is 1, and bring down my next digit. Can 2 divide into 12? Yes, it can. It goes in 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. When I subtract, I get 12 minus 12, which is 0, and I am finished. My answer, 32 and 12 hundredths divided by 2 is 16 and 6 tenths. Let's go ahead and practice another one. So I'm going to rewrite my problem, 14 and 6 tenths divided by 4. And I'm going to still be thinking about divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Dirty monkeys smell bad. So I'm just write this over here to remind myself of my steps when I'm working with long division. 4, does it divide into 1? No, it does not. So we need to go over to the second place. Oh, see, I knew I would forget. There's my decimal. I need to stop. Take my decimal straight up and put it in my answer so that I don't forget about it. Now, let's start over. Does 4 divide into 1? No, it doesn't. So I need to look, does 4 divide into 14? Yes, it does. It goes in 3 times without going over. Now I multiply. 3 times 4 is 12. Now I need to subtract. 14 minus 12 is 2. Bring down my next digit, 26. When I'm looking, I go back to the top. When I'm looking at 4, how many times does 4 go into 26? It goes in 6 times without going over. 6 times 4 is 24 when I multiply. Now I subtract and get 2. Am I done? I'm out of digits. I have nothing to bring down here. No, good news is you're working with decimals. You can add a 0. You can add as many zeros onto the end of this problem without changing the problem. So I'm going to add a 0 on there, bring down my 0. Now I can divide. 4 divides into 20 nice and evenly 5 times. Multiply 5 times 4, which is 20. I need to subtract. 20 minus 20 is 0. Now I can stop because I'm at 0 down here. There's nothing more to bring down, and I have this nice number, 3 and 65 hundredths. Let's go ahead and do some more practice problems on the back. As always, I ask that you copy the problem down, pause the video, complete the problem, and then check your answer by resuming the video. All right, so this first problem, we're going to set it up just like any other long division problem. 1 and 155 thousandths divided by 3. First step I need to do so I don't forget, take that decimal point straight up in my answer. Now I'm going to go through my steps. Dirty monkeys smell bad. I need to divide first. 3 divided into 4 1 times. 3 times 1 is 3. I need to subtract and bring down. 3 goes into 11 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. I will subtract 9 minus 11 is 2. Bring down my 5, my next digit. 3 goes into 5 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. When I subtract, I get 1. Bring down my next digit. Go back to the top of my dirty monkeys smell bad, my steps of long division. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. I subtract. Now I know I'm finished because I get to 0. And I have my answer of 1 and 385 thousandths. Okay, this next one's a little tricky because it doesn't look like we're dividing at all by decimals. But yes, we are, okay? We are dividing 488 divided by 23. So when I divide here, I need to be thinking about how, and you'll see where our decimal point comes in, okay? So it will show up. Right now, it just looks like dividing whole numbers by whole numbers using our regular long division. 23 does not go into 4, so we need to look, does 23 go into 48? Yes, it does 2 times. So 23 times 2 is 46. When I subtract, I get 2. I bring down my 8. Now I need to divide again. Does 23 go into 28? Yes, it does 1 time. 1 times 23 is 23. When I subtract, I get 5. I have nothing left to bring down. I'm not at 0. What do I need to do? Here's where I need to add in my decimal. In a whole number, the decimal is always right after the ones place. So I put my decimal in there, extend it up into my answer, extend my division bar, add a 0, bring down my 0. How many times does 23 go into 50? It goes in 2 times. 2 times 23 is 46. When I subtract, I get 4. I can add another 0, take it down, which is 40. It will go in 1 time. 1 times 23 is 23. When I subtract, I get 17. Ooh, big numbers here. Add another 0, bring it down. That will create 170. I need to think, how many times does 23 go into 170? And 23 will go into 177 times. And if I do a little bit of work over here, I can figure out what that multiplication is. So 21, 14, 15, 16. That is 161. Now I will subtract, and I am continually getting a number. This might be what we call an irrational or never-ending decimal. It doesn't repeat, it doesn't end. I don't know. I could go on and it might end. But I'm going to stop here. In 5th grade, we can stop at the thousandths place and round to the hundredths place. So our answer for this problem, if I have 21 and 217, and I round that from the thousandths to the hundredths place, that would be 21 and 22 hundredths. And that would be my answer. That would be acceptable for 5th grade. All right, let's do that next problem. 12 and 95 hundredths divided by 12. Set your problem up, complete your problem, pause the video, and then catch up with me and check your answer. When I am dividing here, 5 goes into 1, not at all. But how about 5 into 12? Yes, it goes in twice. Oh, I almost forgot to bring up my decimal. That's why you need to do it first thing. 2 times 5 is 10. I subtract, get 2. Bring down my 9. It goes in 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract and get 4. Bring down my 5. 5 divides into 45 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. When I subtract, I get that nice 0. I know I'm finished. 2 and 59 hundredths. Okay, let's do a couple more together. 6 and 48 hundredths divided by 4. I'm going to take my decimal straight up in my answer to start so I don't forget about it. 4 divides into 6 1 time. 1 times 4 is 4. I will subtract to get 2. bring down my next digit, my 4. 4 divides into 24 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. When I subtract, I get 0. Does that mean I'm finished? No. I still have another digit up here I need to bring down, my 8. I have to think about how many times does 4 go into 8. 4 goes into 8 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. I subtract, and now I get a 0. I have nothing left to bring down. I am finished. My answer is 1 and 62 hundredths. Let's look at the next problem. Again, this just appears like we are dividing whole numbers. Okay, so let's see how this works out. 846 divided by 7. Okay, 7 goes into 8 one time. I subtract, bring down, 4. 2 times 7 is 14. I'm going to subtract, get a 0. I'm not done. I still have more numbers I need to bring down. 6. 7 does not go into 6, so we need to put a 0 in there. 0 times 7 is 0. Now I subtract and get 6 again. I am not finished with my problem because I'm not at 0 yet. I need to add that decimal after my ones place, take it up in my answer, extend my line, add a 0, bring down a 0. So I did that really quickly. You might want to rewind and check that out. So now I know 7 goes into 68 times. 8 times 7 is 56. When I subtract, I get 4. Add another 0, bring it down. 7 will go into 45 times, which is 35. I can subtract, get 5, add another 0, bring down. I might just continue going on with this problem forever and ever, but I'm going to stop at my thousandths place, and I'm going to round to my hundredths place. So my thousandths place is right here. I have 120 and 857 thousandths. If I round that to my nearest hundredths, I would be at 120 and 86 hundredths, which is my acceptable answer for 5th grade. All right, one more problem. 654 divided by 8. Once again, it looks like I have no decimals in this problem, but we will have a decimal. So let's go ahead and complete the problem. 8, does it go into 6? No, it doesn't. How about into 65? Yes, it goes in 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. I will subtract and get 1, bring down my next digit, which is 14. 8 goes into 14 once. 1 times 8 is 8. When I subtract, I will get 6. So am I done here? I have 6. The answer is 81. Not quite. I need to add in that decimal, take it straight up in my answer, extend my bar, add in a 0, bring it down. How many times does 8 go into 60? It goes in 7 times. That would be 56. I subtract to get 4. Add another 0. Ooh, this is a nice even number. So 8 divided into 40 is 5. 5 times 8 is 40. When I subtract, I get 0, and now I'm finished. My answer is 80 and 75 hundredths. All right, boys and girls, that was a lot of practice problems. Lots of different variety there. Go ahead and practice any of them again just by rewinding the video, and I will see you next time.